Interesting facts about Geminis. Geminis avoid conflict at literally all costs. They are the people who will walk away when things get too heated. But if you force them into a corner, they will not hesitate to retaliate. They are also fiercely loyal. Their minds are also racing at all times with different ideas. They're also extremely independent, so you can't control them. They're also extremely observant. They can also be a little over the top when they flirt. They also have no patience for people who complain all the time. They're also attracted to people who can stimulate their mind. They're also really supportive and encouraging as a friend. They can smooth talk their way into just about anything. They're also prone to extreme emotions, good and bad. They're also really sarcastic. Okay, bye!
Hey Gemini, happy you season. It's my season! It's my time! See, this that shit I'm talking about. We're in danger. Someone's gonna lose a finger this month. She'll probably be the one who bites it off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep our hands away from Gemini's face for a while. I say we all join a cult. That's what I want to do this year. Really? Because I was gonna suggest maybe a nice dinner. It's her season, we're gonna let her choose. And I'd like to go on an adventure in a submarine to find the Loch Ness Monster. Okay. No, none of that. It's my season, so you can't really tell me what to do. I'm not going in a submarine. That's not even a good birthday activity. And you're more than welcome to stay home and be a lonely bitch. Whoa, where the fuck did that come from? Because we never get to do what I want! And here we have a Geminiing. You're lucky it's your birthday because I would never let anyone else talk to me like that. How about we all try cannibalism and eat Leo? I bet lion meat is a delicacy somewhere. Don't encourage her. Yeah, Aquarius is with the fuck shit. I like it. I'm just gonna go get a helmet. Didn't TikTok cancel your season last year? What if that happens again? Pisces, I think you broke her. Gemini, honey, what else do you want to do for your season? Backpack to Tokyo. Yeah, she's fine. This is all sounding incredibly unrealistic. You're incredibly unrealistic. Happy Gemini season, everyone. Keep your fingers away from my face. Ah, I knew it.
If you try to watch a YouTube video while reading an article and maybe also listening to a podcast, then you might be a Gemini. You really like to debate yourself. Maybe I should be a scientist. Nah, too boring. What about an astrologer? That's way too out there. Okay, a comedian then. Like, what is going on? So when your hairstylist says, what do? It gets complicated. You fundamentally want to learn something about everything, and of course, commitment is a scary thing for you. And that's okay. Commitment is for people who are afraid to stretch out of their comfort zone. But the question is, why are you trying to learn everything? You'll need a Sag to figure that out.
His zodiac says about him, Gemini edition. Gemini men are players. It's not because they're mean, it's just because they enjoy the chase. So unless you can play cat and mouse with them, then once they get what they want, they'll move on. Which means if you want to keep their attention, play a little hard to get and don't rush things. They're also looking for the full package. So bonus points if you have beauty and brains. You'll know they like you if they try to make you laugh and send you memes and also try and figure things out about you. Because once they're in a relationship, they're pretty loyal. They get along well with these signs, not as much with these. Tap the plus sign to follow for more.
make you seem funnier, to make you seem cooler.
Maybe I just am funnier and cooler.
Gemini season, every zodiac sign has a story behind it based on Greek mythology. And when it comes to astrology, the Greek myth behind them is just about the only thing I know about zodiac signs. So Leda was the beautiful queen of Sparta and she caught the attention of Zeus. Zeus disguised himself as a swan so that Leda wouldn't be scared of him, and this resulted as Leda becoming pregnant by Zeus. That same night, she became pregnant again by her husband, King Tyndareus. Her two sons, though with different fathers, were born as twins and they even looked like twins. Pollux was her immortal son from Zeus, and Castor was her mortal son from King Tyndareus. Castor and Pollux became very close brothers and had a great relationship. Castor was a famous horseman and warrior and even trained Heracles how to fence, and Pollux was a great fighter and wrestler. The two brothers traveled with Jason and the Argonauts on their quest for the Golden Fleece, and while on the quest they met Amycus, a son of Poseidon, and Amycus told the Argos he wouldn't let them leave unless one of them could beat him at wrestling. Pollux stepped up and was like, challenge accepted. Amycus and Pollux wrestled for a bit, but it wasn't long before Pollux hit Amycus with such force that Amycus's skull split open, and then the Argonauts continued on their way. When there was a terrible storm, while trying to steady the ship, Castor, the mortal brother, fell overboard and didn't make it. Pollux, the immortal brother, was extremely devastated, and Pollux didn't want to continue life without his brother and best friend. Pollux begged his father Zeus to take his immortality because he didn't want to be without Castor. Zeus thought the love that these two brothers had for each other was very admirable, and Zeus turned them both into the Gemini constellation. And if your birthday is within May 21st and June 21st, you are a Gemini. Now let's talk about these soaps. This stamp was very difficult to stamp because the center of the stamp was majority solid with just a little bit of detail. And because it was so difficult to stamp and difficult for the details to show up, I ended up just taking a brush and gilding the entire front of the soap. I think it still looks kind of cool, but I did make a new stamp with thinner details, so I will be remaking the Gemini soap, but this current one is scented with a dupe for Britney Spears' Hidden Fantasy, and it is available right now in my shop.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head under my... With silly boys.
She knows what I think about and what I think about what love.
Still love you even though you're so annoying. You can say whatever, but I'm still gonna do what I want. I was just kidding. You take everything seriously. Ugh. Okay, so I changed my mind again. So what? Ugh, I need new friends. I love where I work, but I'm looking at other jobs. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. Actually, let's go to Chipotle.
It's double keyed. Oh, you want to go play? Go play, go play. What was the question?
Do you cry as well, very easily?
No, I'm dead inside.
It's weird. I was looking at myself. I should be looking at the camera. Ready?
Just looking at yourself. Or at least thinking about yourself.
Vote Team Carter.
What was the question?
I'm everything in every different environment. I mean, I've always been a bit wild, but I've never intentionally hurt anybody.
So I went to Google and I looked up enzymes, and I read the whole page on enzymes, and guess what?
What?
I haven't a clue.
I'll get it this time, I promise. You can keep Barbosa. The belligerent homunculus in this...
Trying to stay in the now and live in the now. No, I think it keeps you young.
So you're not a reminiscencer?
No.
When did you... What?
Is that a word, Larry?
No, I invented it.
I'm genuinely so impressed with Gemini placements and their ability to entertain themselves at all times. Metaphorically speaking, you could give a Gemini a stick and a rock, and they would find something interesting to do with those two items. I want to know what a Gemini day in the life is like. I really do. They do like a million things at once and then barely remember what happened. Like, I'll ask a Gemini moon, like, oh, what did you do today? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I went here, here, and here. I don't know how I did it in like 5 hours, but yeah, I went to all these different places. I talked to all these people. And look, we all know Gemini placements are impulsive. They don't really schedule things. But the one thing they will schedule is when they think about their feelings. They'll put aside maybe like 5 minutes of daydreaming before bedtime. And then that's it. That's it. They'll do everything under the sun except process their emotions. They'll wake up every day, pick a new hobby, learn a new craft, whatever, child. I don't know how they do it.
My turn. With a taste of your lips, I'm on a rush. You're toxic, I'm slipping under.
Gemini, how does it feel to not even know who you are, considering you have a new personality every time you talk to someone? And maybe the reason why people like to leave your lives is because you have no backbone and you lie so much.